and welcome to today's podcast.
Hello, everybody. Hello. It's been a while. We're so excited to have you back.
We're so excited to be back. We've been away working on exciting projects,
secret projects like all the other influencers.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, weekly wrap.
Yeah, well, I want to hear your weekly wrap first, to be honest.
Why?
Because you have things to tell me.
Oh my God. So I got married this week.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, I do have something. Maybe this is what I wanted to say. I watched a fun movie last night. You have to watch it. Do you want to guess what it was?
Twilight.
Yes. How'd you know?
Are you joking?
Yeah.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
I'm being serious.
How did I know? It's because 99 times out of 10 when you've said what movie have I watched last night, it was Twilight.
Damn it, really?
Yeah,
How
you
often
love
do I
Twilight.
watch Twilight? Damn it.
A lot, I would say. You watch Twilight a lot.
Okay, listen though. This was the extended version, which is free if you have Amazon Prime, everybody. Plug. This is not an ad. This will change your life. Anyway, it's an extended version. And you know what I realized yesterday? First of all, two things. I can't unsee that Brody guy from the Instagram videos who like is doing all of the scenes from Twilight. If you're listening to this podcast, Hannah's remaking all of the characters on her face. So I can't unsee that. But also, I realized that like the movie is obviously from her point of view. So she's in every single scene. Like every single scene has her just as an actor. Wow, that's a lot of scenes. But also this extended version has like scenes definitely that brought it to like a rated R level. There's like a cute little love scene between like the Cullens parents, and then there's a love scene between someone else. I think it was like the vampires are like making out or something. And they clearly needed to bring it to a PG-13 level. And also Bella wasn't in those scenes. It was just like so weird. It's a fun game though. You should play it and be like, that wasn't in the original. It's fun to see like what was in the original and what wasn't.
Cool. This is like so not a controversial statement, but like something that you don't hear very often, I think, and that I'm probably not supposed to say. But I feel like I need more Twilight. I feel like I need more Twilight. I'm 26 now, and I still feel like I need more Twilight. And if anyone is listening, and
Stephanie,
knows of any,
Stephanie, you hear us?
Yeah, and knows of any vampire books that are also like romantic and like, you know, just good, I want to read them, because I feel like with Harry Potter, I don't need another. I mean, you're not a massive Harry Potter fan anyway, but like I don't need another world outside of the Harry Potter world. I feel like that created it so well. But I feel like I need more books about these vampires. I'm sad. And well, actually not an and, but are you going to read the Stephanie Meyer book from his point of view, Edward Cullen's point of view? Didn't it come out this year?
Maybe. I don't have as much time to read those as I used to when they came out. But
it's also like that big.
Yeah, it's freaking fat. So I don't know. And also I love Edward, but he's a mental patient. Get in the car. Do you remember that scene? He's like, get in the car. Tell me something. Distract me.
That's true. I mean, I don't like think that their relationship is good or healthy. I just want to hear more about it.
In high school.
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm having love life problems now.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
So that's my weekly wrap. Other things are I'm having
you
fun
going
in
to tell
Portland.
me something work related?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. My memory is really suffering these days.
You said, let's go on the podcast and I'll tell you about yesterday.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll tell you about yesterday off the podcast, but behind the scenes, BTS.
Fair news, fair news.
Fun fact, I thought BTS for months and months and months meant better than sex. And then when finally someone told me it's behind the scenes, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Here's a little better than sex clip of everyone. Like,
literally
everyone at This Morning, which is a TV show.
Okay, you go.
I feel like this is just classic lockdown in winter. Like, oh, what did you do this week? Well, I sat at my desk and I applied for a bunch of stuff and I wrote a bunch of stuff and I barely moved my body. I've not looked after myself very well. I've eaten pasta like 4 days this week. But I'm in a mentally sound place compared to when we talked about being in a funk. I'm not doing any of the things that I would recommend doing if you are in a funk, but I'm nonetheless perky. I did go to a book club last night though.
You did?
Which was really
That's
fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the book was The Hate You Give.
Oh, okay, that's
which
good.
is about Black Lives Matter. Yeah, so quite a heavy topic for like the first.
Oh yeah, we talked
book
about this.
Club meeting.
How'd it go?
Yeah, it was okay because it was a first book club meeting. We ended up doing a lot of the like, "How are you?"
Oh, okay.
I'm good. But when we did get around to talking about it, it was interesting. It was insightful. It was like
it was someone who's established this book club in quarantine. It's not like an old book club.
Yeah, this is the first one. So next book we're reading is about a spy, and the one after that is Midnight Library by Matt Haig, which is have you heard of Matt Haig? He's like a mental health advocate and an author, and he's quite well known in the UK, and he writes like really light-hearted but uplifting books. So
cute.
Yeah, that's good.
Cute.
Count.
Okay, let's move on.
Done with that.
I love it. I'm glad you're perky. I'm perky. I'm definitely not perky, but I'm stable. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's true. That's more important, if anything. I'm perky and unstable.
Oh God. Okay. I will say something that keeps me going is Hannah and I talk every day at 8 a.m. my time, 4 p.m. her time. And we didn't do that like 2 weeks ago, and it completely threw me off my stability. I was like really sad. I realized that these like podcasts / talks in the morning like give me just the dose of serotonin I need to survive. Genuinely.
I mean, if that isn't a modern day love letter.
You're welcome.
The doses of serotonin I need to survive this quarantine period.
All right, let's go into our topic, which is
nice.
I think this topic is so relevant to both of us. Our life story, and also what we're doing right now. So the question of the day is, do you really need to go to college? Right?
Or university.
Yeah. Or university. And yeah, we'll just go into that and see where it takes us. But since I had to do my weekly wrap first, I want to hear your opinion first on this.
Oh, okay. I've been thinking about it a bit because I feel like we've done a video similar to this before, or we've talked about it before, and I feel like literally in the last 6 months, my opinion, or year probably, my opinion has changed so much on this topic. Like I used to, basically when I came straight out of school at 18, I wanted to prove that I could like make my own way in the world and that I didn't need to go to university, but there was also nothing I was interested in. So I was kind of like, right, I'm just gonna like see where I get. I did like a short vocational course in journalism.
But you did apply to school that first time around?
No, I didn't even apply.
Yeah.
I was just
okay.
like,
the way you said it just now made it seem like I'll see where I get in and then make a decision.
Oh no, I mean like I see where I'll get in life and then make a decision about uni.
Different. Very different.
And yeah, I think if I'd have applied and got in somewhere, I would have been more likely to go, and I knew I didn't want to. Yeah, so I did like a short course, and that helped me get all of the jobs that I needed. And so I'm at this point in life now where I'm like, right, I don't really like the industry that I ended up in, But if I did like the industry that I am in at the moment, I like journalism and writing and stuff, I could have easily progressed.
So wait, let's give people like, why don't we give people like a timeline? Because I feel like you're making sense to me, but you would not be making sense for someone who doesn't know you. So
who doesn't know me that's listening? How rude. Get to know me, go to my about page.
Give me your timeline of like what you did and when and for how long, etc.
So at 18, I was like, bye, I'm going to Paris. At 19,
England. You didn't apply for school.
No, yeah.
You were like, F this.
I met Edwina, changed my life.
That's not what happened. The first 6 months were deep and dark and depressing. And at least for me.
I feel like the first 6 months of leaving home for most people, from what I understand, are deep, dark and depressing. Even if you're going to uni, even if you're going abroad, like those 6 months of just like changing your life so dramatically.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah. And you know nobody.
In a way, I think I'm like quite happy that I spent those 6 months being miserable and being paid for it rather than being miserable and being paid and paying for it.
True.
Yeah, so to 20 I did a vocational journalism course.
Right, the next year.
Yeah, and finished that and was like, oh, I'm not sure I'm interested in this anymore. So
you were really like, it was a huge deal that you had gotten into that course because now you need a uni degree to be in that course.
Yeah,
but you had just gotten in, which was a huge accomplishment, and you like really were convinced this was what you wanted to do. Like
I wasn't so convinced this is what I wanted to do, but I was convinced this was the only thing that I could do at the time, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of like, yeah, I really wanted to do it, and it was a big deal that I got in. And
you took it very seriously, like, I'll say. I'm filling in all the details that you're just skimming over.
It's kind of hard talking about yourself.
Like,
in this
it's
way,
so
though.
funny.
I'm like,
yeah,
I feel like I'm in an interview.
I'm trying to gloat you up. But I remember you learning shorthand, and you were like so obsessed with it, and it was like the craziest thing for me to watch because we were so good at it. And you had like a whole
I've forgotten
life.
it all now, though.
It's really, so sad. It's like a language. It's so cool though. But it's I was convinced, at least from what you were telling me, that you were like on track to become this like big time, full-time journalist.
Yeah, so towards the end of that, I was kind of like, right, this is not what I want to do. I like went and worked in newspapers a little bit for like a couple of weeks or like a month or something, like really short period of time, like work experience, and was like, I don't like this. I want to live abroad, so moved to Berlin and
what
became
did you not like
again.
about it? Did you not like the job, the place, the job?
Both.
The people?
Yeah.
Everything.
Actually, the people were
literally
really nice,
everything.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just like, I don't know, I was just restless. I wanted to travel. I wanted to see more of the world. I was like ready to like, go and explore and like live on my own. And well, I didn't live on my own, but like live independently and not worry about bills and not worry about all that kind of stuff, like having to make money, not worrying about that pressure. And I think au pairing is still one of the best ways in the world to
kind of decide by time.
Yeah, buy time, but also like enjoy yourself without having to like worry about financing it in a way.
Yeah. I think that you just explained the very first like tip that I think is important with this topic of so many people. Okay. Disclaimer here. Masters and undergrad are so different. And we'll get into this as we talk. But I'm at this stage now where a lot of people have undergrads and they still don't know what they're doing. And so they're thinking about going into a master's just to go into school. And so like to your story, I think that what people don't think about when they're 18 and going into college is like how much money you're spending to go into a career that you might end up hating. And luckily, it's good that you went to vocational school and didn't spend too much money to then realize.
I definitely worried about that though, more than if I went back in time, I would be like worry a little bit less about this because I was so much like, this is so expensive. What if I don't like it? And it did mean I didn't do it, but it did also mean that it's taken me this long to be like, actually, I can afford this, like I'd put up that barrier so high that it's taken me a while to think like, oh, I don't want to spend that money, but actually the the way it's financed in the UK
ROI.
isn't awful. Some people would
in
disagree
the
about
UK
that.
for sure, because it gets taken out of your salary automatically, and it's only if you make a certain amount of money, right?
Yeah, how's it taken out in the US?
It's not taken out. You have to pay it out.
You just have to keep paying it back.
It's the only, everyone, it is the only debt that is not taken away during bankruptcy. You will always have to pay student loans back, which is why people invest in for-profit universities and things like that.
Wow,
It's
I
so
didn't know
bad.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, to go back though, but that's a good point of like, and that's why I was saying masters and undergrad's kind of different, because I think undergrad, definitely going for free can change your life and take the pressure off. But I think undergrad too, when I was thinking I didn't really need it and I wasn't sure about going, in the end, I'm really glad that I did it. And I did the whole traditional thing. And I took a break, obviously, but I'm glad that I was able to go back and really do it the way I should do it. Because, God, like the rest of life is, you're working and like it's fun. It's for sure fun. I like love life and everything.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like it's fine. I hate it. Oh, God, I'm so depressed. No, I'm fine. But when I think about like my college years, God, it was so fun. Like it was so fun. I was in an a cappella group. I did theater. I did like tour guiding. I was like working at a restaurant. I knew so many people, like that shit is never the same when you leave school.
How old were you when you first went again?
So my timeline is I went to college in New York first semester. Absolutely, I didn't hate it, but I was like, something is missing here, and I'm paying way too much money to be here for me to feel like this.
Yeah.
So then I left and then went to a community college and lived at home. That was free. And then I left and went to Paris. And then I went back home, back to the community college. And then I went back to Paris to go to business school in Paris for a semester. And then I transferred into UNC. And then I stayed at UNC and did semesters abroad in France again for 3 more years.
So you basically did your first year not at UNC and then the rest of your time at UNC? Or did you start from scratch at UNC?
I did my first 2 years of university at other schools. And then all of those credits transferred to UNC.
Oh, cool. Because
technically
in the US is usually how long for an undergrad?
4 years, but it took me 6. But 6 with the gap year. And then also at the end of my graduation, this is another point. I actually had, because I left for Paris and I was out of school. When I went back to school, I realized how special it was to be at school. So that's why I took up all of those opportunities. And they also offered me, because I was a transfer student, and I had a full ride, they give transfer students an extra year. And I was ready to graduate. I had all my credits, but I remember learning that I had this extra year to do other things. So then I was like, should I just stay? Like, I don't want to work yet. And I was kind of insecure about the decision to stay, because I was like, damn, I should just like go and get life started, But I'm like the epitome of like, take your time, whatever. And I'm really glad that I stayed, because Chapel Hill is a great place to live. Like living in a college town's so fun. And I got to take other classes that year that honestly were way more important. I got to take certain business classes and design classes that I am now using today more than any other skill that I learned previously.
Isn't it funny, like you say, you felt insecure about your decision, but like when you look back in hindsight, just bump my microphone. When you look back in hindsight, I mean, that's what they always say. It's like massive cliche that everything makes sense in hindsight. But I like feel the exact same way. Like in hindsight, so many decisions where I was feeling like really insecure and like not knowing whether I'd made the right one. I'm like glad that I just did something rather than spending ages being like, oh, I don't know. Like if anything, I should have acted not irrationally or anything, but like once I'd made a decision, acted on it rather than being like, I'm still unsure, like, is this right? Like, and spending so much time deliberating. But yeah, I like that. And what you were saying as well about like knowing that being in school is like a special thing. Because I would say, like, my dad always used to say, like, enjoy school, it's the best time of your life. And I used to think, like, oh my god, is it? Like, oh, I don't want this to be the best time of my life in, like, you know, secondary school, so under the age of 18. Whereas I actually am now kind of thinking I'm back to like doing studies, I'm actually enjoying it, and part of me is glad that I've had that break. I mean, probably a longer break than I needed, but I have had an enjoyably long break from studying anything. And I feel like interested again, you know, like it's taken me a long time to be interested. So I guess that would be a piece of advice I would always give, is like try and really figure out what you're actually interested in rather than just going with, because like my A levels, I did what I thought I should do. Like I did biology. I hate biology and like
You
things
did
like
biology?
that. Only like the first year and then I dropped it. But
Gross.
like I did like, you know, history, biology, chemistry, which I dropped after like 2 weeks, and French. Oh, and I wish now I'd gone back and actually been like, right, what am I actually interested in?
Yeah.
You know,
But you don't know. That's the problem. Is you don't know. But
that's true. I guess
also
that's what
like
comes with age.
exactly. You and now that you've had like all this life and job experience, I feel like you are way more acutely aware of what you're interested in. So, just to give people the background, you are thinking about going back to university or to university?
I have yet to pay, but I've finished my application for
Oh my gosh,
university
that's
literally today
crazy.
and got my reference. And I'm going to apply. I think I'm going to send it off tomorrow morning because I want to check it over one last time. Yeah.
To how
And I
many
was talking
schools?
to Nelly a bit about this, who writes the Au Pair of Paris blog. And I was like, I feel really old. So I'm doing an
That's my next
undergrad
question.
at 26. I remember talking to one of my friends who'd taken quite a big gap and she'd gone to uni at like 24. And I was like, oh, do you feel old? And she was like, yeah. She was like, I feel like the grandma of all my friendship groups. I have like so much life experience compared to everyone else. And so I am actually quite like nervous about that. But what you just said about you know, going for different reasons and realizing that like it's special experience and like trying to get the most out of every single second. Any other point in my life so far, I would not have done that. Whereas I think I will do that now. Maybe I'll just go to uni and not make any friends.
Well, I think there are also grad students you can make friends with.
Yeah.
So go work for
Oh,
them.
I could just make friends with 18-year-olds. Don't be so rude.
Sorry, you're right.
Yeah. And you're blooming still in school as well, so
I'm what? I'm
like
still in
8
school?
different schools.
I am in 8 different schools. But so I do a master's over the summers. That's also full scholarship. And then I also am doing this vocational course for UX design at night. But to be fair, I always look at master's degrees and I'm like, oh, should I go? Like, screw it. And I think my answer to it is if it's rooted in fear, don't do it. Like,
What do you mean? That's the opposite of feel the fear and do it anyway.
because mine is rooted in fear of I don't know what life is going to give me, if I'm going to get a job. And I don't want to be in this period where I don't know what I'm doing next year. So I'll just go to school because it's way easier and that at least has a map and a plan.
Yeah.
So unless it's free, I mean, then do it. If you're getting a full
Mm-hmm.
ride, who cares? You can never get enough education. Just do it. But if you have to pay and it's rooted in fear, I think that's a double whammy and that's like a no-go for me.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
after having applied for jobs for like so long, after like traveling and everything, and then realizing like, right, I need to get a job now, going into like the real world. Ugh, that fear is so real. Like all these jobs I was applying for and I wasn't getting anything back, and I was just like, I hate this process. That not that has pushed me into doing this, but I do think that fear, like how can you even overcome that fear when the alternative is like struggling to get a job?
I know. Like, how can you overcome the fear? how can you overcome the desire of going into a master's just because when getting a job is so hard? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
And like I'm
personally, I haven't
finding
struggled yet to getting a job. So I have to think, I think I have to like throw myself into that struggle first to see what happens. And then if I really hate it, I can become an au pair. I can like work at a coffee shop or something. You know, there are options. I keep forgetting.
There's so many options. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. Good luck.
Thanks.
I guess we haven't actually answered our question though, which is, do you need to go?
Yeah. Well, I think we answered parts of the question, like,
yeah,
go if you go because it's going to be the best time of your life and really appreciate it. Don't go if it's just rooted in fear and you're just nervous about the job market.
If you just want to leave home and like have your own life, I would say I'm au pairing is the answer to that. Like I know we say that a lot, but I feel like you said, taking your time and like really enjoying, like biding your time to figure out exactly what you want in life.
Yeah.
No better option.
I think I'll close on this too. Like a huge point that I want to make. Kind of wish I said this in the beginning when more people would be listening, but it's fine. But I think you also, it's a privilege for us to be like, well, you don't need to go to university. Like I work now with high achieving low income students from all across the states, and for them and for me, to be honest, like going to university as the first one in my family to go is like life changing, you know? And you don't have the same social capital to be able to like climb the ladder without school. So yeah, take your time, but I do think going to school is really important, especially if you come from a certain background or need a certain education or don't have that. So that's like a huge thing to take into consideration as well. It's like, yeah, you're paying a lot, but it really is, it's not like you're learning nothing. Education is great, I think.
Yeah, it's sadly something that I have like noticed with like applying for jobs, that it really is something that's looked out for. In a way that when I first started applying for jobs at like the very like bottom of the ladder, when I first like got into writing and stuff, no one cared. And so I was like, oh, I can go places. And I feel like I've kind of hit a bit of a glass ceiling not glass ceiling, but like a bit of a wall, in that all the jobs I want to apply for now with experience are like, you need a degree as well. So that's
it sucks. I'm glad
true.
You're not 30 or 40. I feel like at that point you would have been like, yeah, it's too late.
I don't think so. 30 or 40. No way.
No, that's you're the thing.
That's right. What's so
my like, mom would totally just slap me right now.
Your mom?
Yeah. You're not old. I'm not old. My mom is like 60, by the way.
She's 30. Edwina's just really baby faced, really mature. No, that's the wrong way around. You are such a inspiration in that you're always learning and trying to learn something, and like on a new course and doing new things, that I have actually
felt. No one can see me, my love language is love words of affirmation, and so I'm just glowing right now.
She's hovering above that. Oh god, none of my little sentences are making sense today. So I often have been like you've always talked about your meaning in life has come through like your passion projects and stuff, and I've like reflected on that a lot and been like, what are my passions? And I feel like that's helped lead me into learning and like trying to learn more. But it took a while to get here, but I'm here now.
Here you are.
Maybe I'll drop out. But you're always learning something.
She's beauty and she's grace.
I'm in the process of trying to reach my highest self.
Oh yeah, I've been meditating a lot, so.
Have you actually?
Yeah, my therapist says I should. I think too much. No, I'm totally kidding.
How did it go? How's it going?
I'm seeing a therapist now for the first time in my life. I know anytime I make therapist jokes, everyone in Hannah is like, oh, is that what she said?
Only because I'm interested in that. Not because I'm like, oh, Edwina, you need a therapist. You do, but we all do.
We will talk about my therapist off podcast. So I'm gonna end this.
BTS.
BTS. We'll post the extended version after hours. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.